Hi, I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Anna.
And we're two sisters who love handcrafting and figuring things out.
It's Saturday. I keep wanting to say December.
Not December yet.
It's November 8th, and we're filming in the morning, and we have a beautiful, warm day ahead of us.
I know. I can't wait. I can't wait. I hope our light's going to be okay this morning. It's about like 10:15 in the morning, but we got a busy day ahead of us, so we're getting in and going.
Yeah.
Okay, so this episode is going to be very much classic. It's just going to be a classic.
Classic FlossTube.
Classic FlossTube. We are going to talk about...
We're not even curious about anything.
We're not curious about a darn thing. We don't have any shared supplies. We're just going to share with you our FFOs, our finishes, our whips, a few little plans, and of course, end with our thumbs up. So we're bringing you the classic version of the Curious Crafters. Now, even if we don't talk about being curious, are you still curious?
Always.
Always.
I mean, even when I'm sleeping, I'm curious.
I know. How many times... Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and to get myself sort of back to sleep, I think about a puzzle or a problem, or I like mentally stitch something.
Right. I used to say to the students when I taught math, I was like, dream about fractions tonight, please.
Yeah, exactly. Or do your multiplication tables while you're sleeping. All right. So we're zooming away from our classic format.
That's right. Okay. Maybe it's going to be classic with some tangents.
Good. I like
Let's
that.
go to comments. Most of our comments from our last video were in celebration of Carolyn's finish of Fruits of Plenty. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
And we're all
curious.
We can't wait to see how you fully finish it. I know you shared some ideas, but let's see what actually happens.
Good.
And hopefully in a couple of months we'll have that.
Yeah, it might take a little bit of time because I'm toying between two ways of framing it, and I'm going to do two other pieces framing it in both those styles, and then decide which way I'm going to go.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm doing a
you're
little
starting
test
with like
cases.
the smaller case. Okay.
Yeah, smaller case for that. Also, fate would have it, like just a few days after we filmed and we put those stitches in, Jacob, and Fruits of Plenty was the 2021 Modern Folk Embroidery Sal. And his 2026 just got released, and it's called Little Acorns. I'm going to put a picture right here over Anna. I'm so in. In fact,
it's beautiful.
This may be one of my favorites of all time. He has a couple little sayings. It's a band sampler, and he has a couple little sayings. I'm probably not going to do those, but I'll either put in like maybe an alphabet there. Maybe I'll skip it, or maybe put in like my name or something like that. So
any idea for thread colors yet?
You know what? My first instinct was to do, I got a really, 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 really deep purple legacy, not legacy, lakeside linen and needle in a haystack. I was copying Boone. And I thought, what about white on a deep purple? But then I thought, like, is that too similar? Like, that was my first instinct, but
I can see how you could see is that too similar, but your fruits with the indigo and the white has such a fabulous effect.
I know.
My first thought was something actually very similar to this, like a dark rust or something. Maybe is that what the model is in? Did you hear him say that he asked in Patreon, he asked for people's feedback about what they might like to see? So I'm wondering if this is one, I mean, I feel like there is a huge appeal for this particular one. And is that because there are lots of little elements suggested by lots of different people?
I wonder. And I don't know if any of his sals have been band samplers specifically. So we'll see in a minute. We're both working on a super huge piece. So next year might just be my year of the super huge piece.
That's definitely my theme.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk
Definitely
about that.
until I change my mind in December.
Tangent. The other thing from comments, hey, Denise, thank you for the Wayback Machine. So we couldn't remember. We knew somebody had commented, and I hadn't gone back to the comments to remind myself. And Denise wrote a really hilarious comment on the last one. She goes, I was shouting at you. It's me. It's me.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you, Denise. And so fun. We met Denise at the retreat, Pinwist retreat. So now whenever I think about her or her reader comments, I hear her voice, which makes it like super fun. So
Definitely.
thank you again for that Wayback Machine suggestion. And then finally, of our Oblia Folk Embroidery Crystal West giveaways, all have been claimed except for the very last bookmark one. And so this one, I'm going to pick a new person. I didn't think about doing that before we started filming. So new person, here you are. And if you would email us at we.r.curiouscrafters@gmail.com, I will mail this out to you as soon as I get your mailing information.
We will try to remember to look at our email.
Yeah.
And then if there's a little delay.
Yeah.
We'll
try. Yeah, I'll try, and particularly when I look for this. And the other bookmark winner, thank you. She was so patient because her first message went into spam. And I hadn't checked the spam. So luckily she was persistent and sent us another email. So I was able to get that one out to her. All right. So that's our giveaway. Let's go right on to our toast. Anna, what are we toasting?
All right, we are toasting to the connectors, as we like to call them, in our community. Carolyn and I have just had a couple of experiences in the last couple of weeks, and I'm not sure either of us is like truly a big connector.
No, I don't think we're connectors.
I don't think that's like, and so I am especially appreciative.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about the Jingle Ball and Steph's style and how inclusive it is, and there's just so much buzz around the Jingle Ball. I know Jingle Ball's not for everybody, but for those of us who are excited, I mean, she is a connector.
Yes.
We have participated in some of our first sort of stitchy Zooms with different groups of people. We're starting to meet more and more people through the years, and that was a new experience and just fun to be stitching with people all over.
And both of those Zoom groups have really fabulous connectors that just are like the people that say, okay, let's do it. Let's get together. I'm putting out the Zoom. Here's your link. Come on. And that person that will just do that and get people going, it's such an incredible skill and ways of so appreciated.
Yes. And we have a girlfriend we're both very close to, and she is just so great at saying, like, she calls it knit night, but you can bring any handwork. Come over to my house, I'll make dinner. It's just sometimes impromptu and boom, and it's so fun. Yeah. So to the connectors. Are you a connector? Thank you, all of you out there.
And just again, thinking about everybody has different skills. Everybody has different personality types, and just how everybody, if you can just be the best person you are, then you are contributing in a really positive way to whatever community or world you're in. So the connector.
I believe that so strongly.
Mm-hmm. We're having coffee. I know. We were going early, and I almost texted you to say, like, do you want to get Phil's? I
thought of it too, and I'm like, then we'll have to start later, and then we might be rushed because Carolyn has a commitment.
I have some babysitting.
Another time soon.
Yeah,
I haven't had it in a while.
Okay, so what are we wearing? So Anna, what are you wearing?
Oh, t-shirt and jeans. Saturday.
I got two things going on for this. Underneath this is it's called the Leon. How would you pronounce that? Why am I having a problem there?
Leone.
The Leone sweater, and this is designed by Julie Weisenberger of Coco Knits. Why I'm doing this is she is such a fantastic tailorer. Her sweaters are so simple looking, but they have design elements that make them fit really well. This is called a drop sleeve sweater because your sleeve starts down here, and so it makes your body a little bit more boxy. But the way she's fitted the sleeve in, the sweater does not, to me, read overly boxy and oversized. And I love the sweater so much. It's knit in a summer tape cotton yarn, and I so want to knit it again in a wool yarn for winter. I also, for me, this is such a great sleeve length. Maybe winter I go a little bit longer. I just do not like sleeves around my hand. In fact, I was wearing a sweater yesterday that I knit, and I had to roll the cuffs back, and I go, that's it, I'm cutting those sleeves off and redoing those. That's the beauty of knitting. All right, so that's what I'm wearing, thing number one. I've worn this a lot. This thing number two, it's called the Shawl Millens Snood, and it is designed by Donna Smith, and it is Shawl Millens. It's a Shetland word that means smithereen. So it is just this long tube.
Oh yeah, I remember.
It was knit in the round, and it just has all these beautiful little patterns.
That looks fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I knit this. I'm a very wool positive person. Like, wool does not bother me at all. This wool for me is just a tad scratchy, but when it's cold out, that doesn't bother me at all. So this is like the perfect thing in the morning when you wake up. John and I are like definitely entering our retirement stage, because we're like, let's wait to turn our heat on until the last possible minute. So we haven't turned our heat on yet in the house. So in the morning it's kind of chilly in here. And so I'm just like, oh, let me put my snood on, and somehow it keeps me warm.
It's funny because I was working from home for a few hours one day morning this week, and James was like, do you want a special treat? I'll turn the heat on for an hour.
I know, and I think we have like these programmable thermostats that we have like different times of the day. And I think this year, because our heat can get pretty expensive, I think I'm going to I usually set us at 68 when we're around the house. I think I'm going to go to like 65 and see.
We do 67.
Yeah. Because I'm about to be 65, so I'm going to take that to be my household temperature.
Woohoo! Some fully finishes.
Let's do some Carolyn. Fully finishes. In preparation for my 2 Zooms that we had last week, I've taken one of the bedrooms that used to be one of my son's bedroom and turned it into like my craft room. So the bed's gone, it's done, but I don't know about you all, but sometimes like your stuff can kind of pile up, and I have a really beautiful big work table that's like a standing height, and it just was like, there was piles on it. So I'm like, I can't have people come over to my house and Zoom with this messy room. So I spent all last Saturday morning just tidying and cleaning and decluttering, and the space, it felt so good. It felt, I got some, and you'll see I'm telling you this long story because I'm about to show you something that I'm like, oh yeah, I ordered that frame a year ago to frame this piece. Oh, I should do that. But there's something about having a light, open craft room with a big open craft table with your tools readily accessible that be like, oh yeah, I can just go in there and FFO that right away. So that felt really good. So this is a piece. I finished it well over a year ago and got the frame. This is a Park Slope frame by Signed and Numbered. I love dealing with them. I've actually just ordered something else from them to frame. And this piece is Kathy Barrick's Crow number 5. I love this. It's stitched on 36 count straw by Weeks, and it's the called for MPI silks. And I got both the pattern and the thread pack back in the day from Hillside Rookery, Olivia B. I also added a couple of more oranges in there just to add a little bit more pop of color. And
looks fantastic.
Of course, hashtag Kathy Barrick Fan Club. A couple things I'm kind of wondering, I put an even margin all the way around. I was talking to this about Anna. This side though of the piece is so much heavier in stitch motifs than this side. I was almost wondering, should I have left a little bit more open space here and a little less over on that side, even just by like a few threads, if that would have, I'm not complaining, I'm just wondering.
It's something you want to try and you forgot to try.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, these frames, they come with just a very much of a plywood backing board to put on. So I just glued some fabric to it just to make the back look a little bit more finished.
I thought it was like a paper. I didn't realize it was fabric.
No. Oh, paper would have been good.
That looks good.
Paper would be another good option for that. This is a gift for a family member who they just finished or getting close to finishing this incredible adventure, something they had never done in their lives related with hawks. So they're very into birding. They also really, really love crows. So this is just going to this special person, just a celebration for getting out there and doing it. Okay. That's square number 5. The other FFO I have is last time I was showing you, I was working on the autumn salt boxes, and I finished Saltbox this is number 1. I had already finished number 2. And same thing, I do the full Polaroid and just finish it as a tile. And so she gets to join her buddy. So now I have the 2 springs, I have the 2 summers, I have the 2 falls, and I'll do the 2 winters. Maybe I'll do those this winter. I wanted to talk, a couple things happened on this one. Can you see how the sides is a little rippled?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at my sides. And again, I'm curious, I'm not complaining. There's a little bit of rippling here. And I'm like, that's never happened to me before. But then you know what, on this one, I did it. I always stitch guidelines where I'm going to be putting my mat board. I folded it. Again, I folded it on those grid lines.
You were talking about that last video.
And I'm wondering if maybe that's not such a good idea. I'm wondering if those folds got in the fabric. So as I laced, if it wasn't, you don't.
That could be.
If it was bulging out a little bit from that fold.
So folding when you're doing that kind of finishing.
Maybe it's not a great idea.
Not, yeah.
So that was the only thing I could think of that I had done differently for that. I also want to talk about how we finish with our tiles. I do 2 approaches. Sometimes this is just a piece of, it's actually, I think it's hand-dyed wool. And so it has a little bit of depth and it has a nice thickness to it. I just glue it around the edges and glue it down. And that to me is a very nice light backing. But other times, and particularly for bigger ones, and Anna does this a lot, this is my gobble gob. I showed you this last time, but I had not put on, I went and got some fabric from Needle Studio.
I love the way that fabric looks.
And put that on mat board. It's a slightly different profile. So just kind of 2 different ways to think about the backs of finishing the tiles. And
if it was in a bookcase, in Carolyn's house, the way she displays them, you often can see the front and the back because they're on sort of like a pass-through shelf. But in a bookcase, you could also just leave it. You could lace it or glue it and leave it.
You could. I kind of like the added bit of color on the back, and it does cover up your lacing.
I like it too.
So kind of pros and cons. No cons. Pros of both.
Options.
Just
options.
Options for that. Okay. So those are my 2 FFOs.
Well, they all look great.
I know. And also with my craft room, the big table, there's just like one big window in the room. It's kind of a small bedroom, but it just has like a ledge on the window, very unfinished ledge. And I've been propping these along the ledge with some little photos and just kind of having, I'm like, kind of like that.
Very collage-like.
Very collage-like.
You're a ledge collager.
I'm a ledge
and I'm a bowl and bookshelf collager.
Anna,
all right.
What's your finished object?
I have a finished piece, which I just popped onto Instagram, which is Fronica Beiler. So I wanted to do a Notforgotten Farms sampler as part of my exploration of Notforgotten Farms catalog this year. And I did this on 40 count powder puff by Roxy Flossco, but then I diluted some oak gall ink and on it. So we were just talking, it's very hard to get a picture of this piece. I don't know why, but in person, it looks a little less, we were saying drab. A little less drab. Here it is. I'm keeping it on this board because I just blocked it. And there we go. I'm so happy with it. I replaced Fronica Beiler's name and date with one of our ancestors. And then
guidelines.
The thing that is most striking to me about this, the spacing is really unusual, which we all know I love negative space. Oh, I shouldn't say we all know. I love negative space, and I adore Pennsylvania Dutch or Pennsylvania German motifs. And to me, every single motif on this sampler is just like, I love stitching every single one. I wanted to put some sort of signature in. I've been playing with what I want my signature to be on most things, or maybe I'm going to keep switching.
Kind of like your mark.
My mark. And so I'm going to show it large here. This is what I decided on. A for Anna the bird, and then 2-5 for 2025. And I did it over one down here in the corner.
Okay, let's see. Can we get it up there? But, you know what, Anna? Take a picture of it and we'll insert a good detail picture.
I'm just really happy with this. I don't think I'm going to frame it. I think I'm going to try to make it a large tile. So I've cut out mat board and glued 2 of them together. I'll put a little quilt batting on top of it and I'll lace it. So isn't it interesting, the size and shape of it?
I love it.
And then I will cover the back with fabric, and I have 2 choices from what I had just sort of in my, I love to collect little bits of fabric. This is quite bright, but I think it could be kind of interesting on the back. But I think I'm leaning towards this one.
To me, second one for sure.
And I am going to make a copy of a photo of the woman from our maternal line who is featured in this sampler. And I think I'm going to put that copy of the photo on the back of the tile. So, yeah.
Did you say that you're going to try to stitch it on the fabric?
No, I didn't do that yet. Okay. So I'll cut the fabric to size, and then I think I'm going to stitch with my sewing machine the photo onto the fabric, and then put the fabric on the back of the tile.
I think this green fabric is really interesting, but I feel like its color, it does not go, I think it would make the front look more muted.
Yeah, and sometimes I sort of like the color to be a little off, but I agree, I have a little concern about this. So we might as well just go with the whole muted.
And that one just, it reads both of those in the bird.
And it's almost like someone used oak gall ink on this.
Yeah.
This is an old motif fabric from, what's her name?
You've used that fabric for something else.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I think it's the interior of a project bag. I'm not mistaken.
And well, congratulations. You just put your nose down and just got that thing done.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. It wasn't like something I was like pushing myself to finish it. It's after our last video, I went home and I was stitching on a little bit. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this. Sometimes when I'm working on a piece, I can almost feel like, oh, there's a tipping point. I'm like,
yes.
It's like this feeling deep down inside of like, oh, I'm going to finish this soon.
Yes. I think it is a tipping
There's just
point.
like some sort of flow that just is so natural. And I don't think it necessarily happens to me like when I'm halfway there or when I'm almost finished. It's just some sort of signal.
Yeah, that definitely happened to me with Fruits of Plenty. And you almost like just kind of keep working on it, and it's not like you're rushing or anything, but you're just like, I'm in the zone, this is going to get done.
Exactly.
Beautiful. What a great way to sort of end up your Not Forgotten Farm or wrap up your Not Forgotten Farm.
Yeah, we are at the time of year where I'm like, okay, what do I really want to finish that I've already started, or what do I want to do that I haven't started, which I have one thing I'm going to talk about in that category.
Nice.
So,
good.
Yeah.
We're going to go into our whips. And our first whip, we both have this, and it's a new start for both of us. And this was one of our Zoom groups, is a group of 15 people are doing the 15 Friends. And this is by Cozyegg.
And we really need to start using a hashtag. When I looked up 15 Friends, oh, you know what? I put the number. I wonder if I spelled out 15 Friends. There must be something already there.
I do feel like also the hashtags are not working as well on Instagram. But I think you're right. We should do.
I agree that they're not working as well, and you can't follow one anymore. But what else are we going to do?
Yeah. And here's another example of connectors. Somebody in our 15 Friends group reached out to the designer, Michelle, right?
Yeah.
Michelle, of 15 Friends, who designed this. And she came to our Zoom and just talked about her process and the story behind this. And it was very generous of her to join us. But also, you know, that connector of reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, we're working on this together. Would you like to come join our Zoom group? So we're going to Zoom once a month to check in on this. And some people, and I might try, are going to try to finish this within a year.
All right. So there are a few. So spell out the word if you want to join in.
Yeah.
Spell out the word 15 Friends.
Yeah. And please, jump on it too if this is something you thought. It's a beautiful Bristol. Along the way too, I think I want to learn more about Bristols. I mean, I know a little bit of the basics. But I think it might be a good opportunity to do that. So, Anna, you want to show start with yours?
Why don't you go ahead?
Okay. So for mine, I'm using 38 count Irish coffee, and it's a linen by Legacy, and it's called a Ricamo linen, and it has, to me, a slightly thicker feel. And I'm going to be using a combination of Soie Gobelins and 103s. Right now, I've started with Gobelin 779, which is a very clear red with, I think, just a touch of orange. And I went through our stash of 103s and goblins, and a lot of them were slightly more purple. They weren't quite in the family I wanted. I found one more from our stash that I'm going to play with, but then I got on Hoop and Frame and just ordered a variety of other reds, and they're going to get delivered today.
Oh, good.
So for that, I really enjoy stitching letters, and I really enjoy thinking about the design of each of the fonts or typefaces for that.
Yeah, I like the way you've started. You really can get a sense of the variation that's coming.
So the way I'm going to stitch it, I'm actually down to the motifs now. I'm going to stitch it because this linen, I'm on 38 count, and it's huge. It's a huge piece of linen. Excuse me, Anna. So how I'm going to stitch this is I'm always at top right. I'm stitching down here, so I'll be able to get across to both motifs and alphabets. I'm going to stitch across the top. Those are very natural ways for me to stitch. And then I'm going to turn it upside down and stitch across the bottom and down the side. And then I'm going to kind of keep doing the same thing.
So you'll have a frame, kind of. You're going to be going...
I'm going to kind of, be sort of spiraling into the center.
How fun, Carolyn.
Because I think it's easiest to work from the outer edges.
And then if you have errors, you're going to have fun decisions in the center.
I already had one error where I didn't go down, so I just compensated. And we were talking about this in her Zoom. The stitcher, there are places where the letters are going up and down and all over. So I think errors are going to be really, really easy to accommodate in here.
Yeah, Michelle said something like, as she stitched this sampler, she felt like she discovered the sampler the whole time she was stitching. There are all these little different motifs, and there is just a lot of variation. And to me, that brings improvisation and movement, and I love it.
Yeah. One thing that's sort of funny that happened, of the 15 people, everybody picked a bed number. And then people have been talking maybe we should send each other our threads, and then we can stitch bed numbers in each other's threads. Or I was thinking, hey, every time I stitch a bed number, I'm going to maybe send a little card to that person just being, hey, I'm thinking about you. But I inadvertently stitched one without even knowing it. I was just stitching along, and I'm like, oh, these are probably numbers right here. And I'm like, wait, why is it 1, 2, and then 3? I'm like, oh, it's a bed number. So I'm actually going to go out and rip that out, because I don't want to just stitch someone's bed number and then be done with it and not even have thought about them, or if I want to do it in a color. So I'm going to take that out, because I might go back in the end and do people's bed numbers. But
or you can just let it be, because you're maybe not quite sure what you're going to.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see about that. But it was sort of funny, because I was like, oh, wait, are we starting our numbers already? I didn't really look at the big pattern. Wait, why is the 3 before the 1 and the 2? I'm like, oh, bed number.
I guess that's an example of a little surprise too.
Yeah. And then there's a first bed number right up here. And I'm like, oh, bed number. And I'm like, oh, it's mine. It's a little boring.
I'll think about myself.
I'm going to write myself a note. Okay, that's mine. Super loving this, and I can't wait to keep going on it.
All right, and I'm keeping mine in my bag from Becky of Becky's House of Sewing. Loving this, Becky. And thank you. Here is my start. So I'm just going right along the top. I'm about a quarter of the way across, I think.
And talk about what size linen yours is.
Oh, that's right. I think it's 55. It's 55 count vintage pecan butter by Lakeside.
Look at the width difference. Yeah.
And I'm using Swasserfine. And the majority of this sampler is going to be in Swasserfine 2664. I wonder if that's one of the colors that you got, that you ordered.
Well, that looks that has a hint of purple. And I was going a little bit, to me, I think a little bit. And I'm kind of going maybe a little bit more into the orange.
Yeah, because I'm going more into the purple.
Because even look at these, can you see the purple?
Because I'm going to put some of that in.
Yeah. Mine's on my side, and the other one's Anna's on her side.
This is really slow going for me, both because the letters are each a little irregular, so I'm looking very carefully at the chart. And just when I'm on 56, there can't be any rush for me. So I'm going to stitch probably 2 letters max per evening. So I think I'm going to be kind of way behind on this Sal, but I'm going to try to reframe that, right? I'm just going to try to keep steady progress going. This will probably be a 2-year thing instead of a year thing. 2 year at the minimum. I'm really enjoying it.
And
I have no regrets. Like I'm very happy with the teeny tiny list of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really neat comparison. And the model was also stitched on 56 count. So Michelle also held up the original model to see it, and she said that the original girl who stitched it was like on 72 or something.
Yes,
like,
and I remember I saw a sampler at the Smithsonian a couple of summers ago, and I remember looking at it thinking like, is that count like 100?
Yeah.
The stitches were so tiny I couldn't believe it. So I wonder if it was something similar to the 72.
Yeah, pretty incredible. Okay,
so new start for us.
New start, and
another new start for you, Carolyn. Was this the one that you were predicting you were going to start?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. Get this out of the way.
You can put it here if you want.
Let's put that right there. Okay, my next one was a fall start, and it was one I was thinking about doing. I had so much fun with both my Gobble Gobble and my Autumn Saltbox, having whips already in process and just opening up those whips and just going. It was really fun. So this one I don't anticipate, if I finish it, great. If not, that'll be my surprise for next fall. So I have been working through the Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. I've done spring, I've done summer. I ended up giving summer away as a hostess gift to a friend I was visiting. And then I've done winter, finished that one. And so now I'm working on the autumn. It's the last one to do. And I have a beautiful Katie Strachan kit. And Anna, when I was looking back at this, the copyright on her conversion was 2022. So this was probably one of her earlier kits. So I've had this stashed, ready to go. And I love stitching Goblins and 103s on this 38 count legacy. That's what my 15 friends is also. This is a 38 count legacy linen. I'm not sure of the exact color. And I'm using a combination of the Swag Goblins and 103s from Katie's conversion. And what I'm loving about this, I love fall colors. I love fall colors. These fall colors, though, but fall colors sometimes can feel, I don't know whether it's the fabric, can feel like a little like sort of heavier, like the season, like your leaves are falling.
To me, it feels cozy.
Yeah, cozy, but something about this beautiful palette still is fall, but feels light and fresh. Like as I'm stitching this, I'm just like, oh, that just feels so light and fresh. And look at those, like even the greens are a little bit fresher, lighter greens. They still feel fall. I don't know, something about it. And the way the 103s and Goblins lays on this fabric is just...
That's a great match.
It's just beautiful. Oh, I should say one thing I started when I was starting my 15 friends, I just picked out a needle. Like I almost always use a size 28 needle, and I'm stitching it. And this particular legacy feels a little denser. There's not as much space between the threads. And I'm like, my needle can't go through it. I was fighting things, and I'm like, this is a huge piece. Did I make the wrong choice? And then I'm like, my needle feels a little big. And so I pulled out a new 28. And I'm like, oh, my original needle was not a 28. And just understanding, like getting that right needle size for your project. As soon as I got to my 28, flowed. Okay. So that's this. And of course, as always, a Katie conversion is a beautiful thing, both to look at and to work with. I have beads. It's going to be finished with beads around the edge. And I haven't watched it yet, but it looked like she just put out a tutorial about beading edges of finishes. So great fun. All right. I've also, this is from the Container Store. This is, I think, was it like a jewelry or? But I feel like
it is in that aisle that is for a lot of things for your dresser.
Yeah, it holds the spools beautifully, and if you have to like put a couple on top of each other, it still fits in. And I feel like, and then when I'm stitching, whichever one I'm using, I just kind of have it standing up in there.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Probably fits around
2,
14.
4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah.
Because you can't do a whole second layer. You just pop a few up.
Yeah, and then make different sizes. All right, so that's Seasons of the Heart. Oh, I'm next. Are the rest of me?
Yes.
Oh,
because of Fronica Beiler,
I
mostly did that.
Okay. Will you be my Brenda?
Oh, I'd love to. Actually, that always looks fun to me.
And put that away. Thank you very much. I'll put my skills to the side. Next thing is I started some of my Jingle Ball stitching, and the first thing I started was for my Stand Up for Santa class. And this is going to be with Kathy Haberman of Hands-On Design. Yeah, that's right. This was one I bought the kit for, and it is stitched. I didn't update our notes on this. 20 count, natural brown linen and with pearl cottons, and it has a little bit of whisper for this. So the threads, thank you, Debbie. The threads are, heavier pearl cotton.
Yeah, it's a really different look. Wow.
Yeah, and so the kit came on the thread drops, and here is my progress. And working. So Santa's going to be pretty big, and it's going to be a stand-up, which is great. I'm really interested in learning how to do a stand-up finish.
Yes.
And I think I'm sort of into Santas. I realize a few of my Christmas stitching along the way have been different Santas, so I thought this will be a nice addition. I'm going to tell you, I don't think I really love stitching on this 20 count linen. I don't, with the pearl cotton, it's not my favorite process. I stitch in hand and I can't do my sewing method. It's just a little too dense and thick, so I'm doing a lot of this. What do you call that when you go up and down? Like down and up and down and up. Poke and stab, which is fine, and I'm kind of getting in a rhythm. It's harder to me to start and stop my threads with just the thickerness. I think I'm doing a pin stitch, but in a different way. So I think it's going to look great. Is it my favorite stitching process so far? No. Am I happy to do it? Yes. Okay. And for this one, I didn't quite know how, because I didn't want to start in the middle, so I ended up starting in the bottom, and so I've sort of been stitching it upside down and going down like this.
By the way, let's think of something besides poke and stab.
Yeah, what
can we call it?
It's like sometimes I say like the up and down. What do you all call that when you know what I'm talking about? I really do like from the top, that's sewing. I mean, when I'm doing the sewing method, there are plenty of times where I have to do the up and down, but that's more rare than especially, that just feels so good.
It does.
I will definitely get this done by the Jingle Ball, and my goal is I probably won't fully finish it completely during the class. I just don't typically work as fast, and I want to watch the class, but I do want to fully finish it during that Jingle Ball weekend. I think that would be because the class I think is Saturday midday or something like that. So that's going to be a goal for me. Okay, and then my next one, I just worked a little bit on this. And I worked on this during our second Zoom meeting. It's such a great travel piece or social knitting piece. And it is the Arakava Antique by Avalia Folk Embroidery, Krista West. This was our pin with one of our projects. And this is stitched on 100% cotton traditional ground cloth. It's 30 count, I believe, with DMC for this. And it's going to end up being pretty long. But I just continue to love stitching this piece. I'm still working on this. I have a thread going.
I love the red border.
Yeah. And you can see for the little red lozenge where I've done my back stitching around it and where I have it and how it really changes the character of those. There's something about this fabric. It's 30 count. I still wear my readers to see it. But it's so easy to stitch out and about. You don't need super good light. You can talk while you do it. I find any of these geometric motifs, once I get down the rhythm, I'm not really having to refer to the pattern. So it's such a great, relaxing social stitch. And there's something about this fabric. It just feels really comforting to stitch on. So I am really enjoying this project. And definitely have some other Avalia designs that I'll be stitching. In fact, one of our Zoom groups, we were looking and we've all like, oh, let's stitch this next one together. So I'm going to order, I have one backed and I'm going to order one more. Okay, so if you haven't tried her things, highly, highly, highly recommend those. Just zipping along. My last one is knitting. And this is my Sinister Kittigan for my younger New York granddaughter. Here's the pattern, and it is designed by Marna Gilligan, and she has an adult version that's called the Sinister Cattigan for that. This grandchild will be out in a couple weeks visiting, so I really want to have it done for her by the time I get there. And I finished the body.
Oh my gosh, that is so
You can
so
see
cute.
those stripes down the front. That's going to be cut open to be a cardigan. And that's called steeking. And I think I'm going to steek it sooner than later before I finish the sleeves to help think about the sleeve length. And this all will definitely block out beautifully when I block it. And now the next step is I have stitches waiting for me here that I'll grab again and knit down the sleeves. And those are also done in the dark purple. So the Sinister Kitigan. And those pins down there, I have like a band of 7 stitches that is, I cut up the middle of those 7 stitches. They'll kind of flip to the back and then you pick up your button bands along the side. So that's just showing me where I'm going to be reinforcing and cutting.
It's so cute now, and imagine it on a little moving.
I know. Can't wait. I can't wait for it to, like, to me, color work always gets a little bunchy and then you block it out and it's like so magical. Oh, it's going to look so cute on her. I wish she was around to try her on because she's a petite person. And I had to sort of guess about the length because I made it shorter than the pattern called for it. So the Sinister Kitigan.
All right, you've had a nice variety pack the last couple of weeks.
Oh, I've had such a great time. I'm just really happy with all my projects. Feels good.
Good.
And what are your plans?
I want to keep adding letters to 15 friends. And for the Kathy class, for the Stand-Up Santa, I am definitely going to, this might be my last Not Forgotten farm pattern for the year. I'm going to do the blue bell snickle. And these are the 2 primary colors. Isn't it a little surprising? The red and the blue are pretty different than how they look on the cover.
Are you going to stick with those, do you think?
I think I am. I think partly because this year I'm just like sort of honoring Lori's choices, and then I might put this on Tabby Cat and Muddy Duck, which was part of when I left dinner in Portland and went over to Acorns and Thread.
I think I need some fabric.
I might do it on that, like on a darker linen.
The colors really today are not looking great.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to modify the pattern. I think I'm just going to stitch the bell snickle and then decide what's doodads, as we call them.
Yeah, and to be honest, like a stand-up doesn't have to have a huge, you could come up here and do a little dome like this and then put some of this patterning across here, or put some stars or something in there.
Right.
Did you look up bell snickle? I Wikipedia bell snickle. Do you want to talk about the bell snickle?
And I actually had a conversation with our mom, who we keep talking about the Pennsylvania German heritage on her side of the family. I was wondering if she had experience with the idea of bell snickle growing up, but no, it was not familiar to her. But bell snickle basically comes a couple weeks before Christmas, and if you haven't been good, if you haven't been a good little child, not good.
Kind of coming around, kind of warning you a little bit too. And they said bell snickle also is kind of like often like sort of looks a little haggard and everything, is not like a jolly. So this bell snickle is actually looking pretty friendly and pretty good. But I loved it. It was sort of, they said in the German culture, more than the St. Nicholas, it's your bell snickle is kind of checking in on you a couple weeks. Like I think about St. Nicholas Day, isn't that like on the 6th or something of December? So I'm going to with my granddaughters, I often will send them a little package around December 6th, like maybe a coloring book or some crafts or maybe some pajamas, like kind of getting ready for this. But I might now do a bell snickle package.
The 2025 version of Gramsci.
Oh, yeah.
The bell snickle Gramsci version.
Yeah, that looks good. For me, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm really happy with all the projects I'm going. I do want to finish that, the cardigan for my granddaughter so that she has it when she gets here. And then I also want to start my other kit that I got for the Jingle Ball. And this is the Countdown to Christmas. It's the long bell pull.
That's going to be so fun.
I printed the pattern yesterday. It's a beautiful color pattern. It's going to be so easy to follow. Somebody that was in one of our Zoom meetings, she had already started it and it looks so good. I mean, I would love to have it done by the Jingle Ball, but I'm not going to stress myself out or rush it. But I do want to start it to get it going because I would like to have that done shortly after the Jingle Ball, if not like the same thing along that. Somebody also said, because I said one of the reasons I got the kit was because I really wanted to be able to get all the materials. It's a long, thin piece of linen. In fact, the count, it's like over 500 stitches long. But a couple people said...
Oh, that puts it in perspective.
...that they thought Acorns and Threads was sourcing this long strip of linen. So if you didn't get the kit, check with them. And then I think you can buy the hangers from Heartstring Samplery's website. I think they're selling those separately. I'm not positive, but I think you can still get, find these source materials if you want to stitch this.
Yeah, and again, I want to express gratitude because this is going beyond Lindy Stitches. I feel like everyone is trying to make sure whoever wants to be included can be included.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate it so much.
Yeah. The other thing that's been really nice, I'm in one more class. I'm in the Blue Flower, their Biscornu class. And each of the designers, it must be something Steph asked them to do. But I've been getting periodic emails from each of these 3 projects. Have you gotten the one for like Stand Up Santa?
I just purchased it this morning.
Oh, okay.
I haven't even looked at my email.
It's just kind of things like for the Blue Flower one, she's talking about each of the different animals that's in the Biscornu. So she'll tell you a little bit about the animal and so they're sort of checking in on us and telling us a little bit something about their design. And so they've been really, for me, really nice touch points and kind of a neat way to continue that excitement and maybe keep you cheering you on if you're stitching to get ready for the class.
Yeah, and it's like a way of building community too.
So I feel like that's
cool.
That's really been an above and beyond for the designers. And I'm guessing everybody is doing that. Since I've gotten it from all 3 designers.
Can you imagine sitting around a table with a bunch of designers and talking about like, how do we want to do the Jingle Ball?
I know.
I like that kind of thinking.
I watched Kathy Haberman's most recent FlossTube yesterday, and she was saying about how the Jingle Ball for the designers has been such a wonderful experience. She's done it from the beginning because she goes, they have meetings together throughout the year and they brainstorm these things. And she says, it's not always that designers get to be together and do things together. So I think for them, it's really, again, that idea of building your community and the connecting between them. Really cool. Anna, shared supplies?
Nothing. Carolyn, shared supplies?
Nothing. Okay,
I shouldn't say nothing. I bought my Jingle Ball ticket this morning.
Okay.
And that one class.
That's good. All right, let's keep
thumbs
going.
Up. Okay.
Thumbs up.
My first thumbs up is lemon zest. Just love it in pasta, love it in salad dressing. I had a funny conversation with one of my friends. She's like, lemon zest is like too powerful. It's all I can taste in it. And I'm like, I love it when I can taste lemon zest. So my second thumbs up is neighborhood walks. It's just such a simple thing to do. We have a little loop in our neighborhood that we often walk, and I know I really like ordinary things. I have to even push myself sometimes to like, maybe try a different loop, Anna. I'm a creature of habit. Just really enjoying the neighborhood walks. I think it's the crisper, cooler air, and not all of our trees turn, but we do have a little bit of fall foliage, and that's starting to happen.
Yeah, a big one for us is the ginkgo trees, which are really incredible. They haven't gone yet, but they're starting to turn.
And in the spring, the jacaranda trees in your neighborhood are just so striking.
Yeah, and of course the plum. Okay.
Okay. And then my husband had this impromptu idea last Sunday when the time change happened. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon. He goes, if we leave at 4, we could be at the beach for sunset. So he put in a takeout order someplace. We stopped. I ran in and got it. And then we went to the beach and we backed into the parking place, opened up the hatch, ate dinner, and watched sunset. I'll put a picture in here of just, it was so fun. And I'm like, maybe this is going to be the tradition. I'm definitely one of the people, I like daylight savings time. And so when we go back to regular time, what do we call it? Pacific Standard Time. I can feel a little bit like, but going to watch the sunset at the beach took that feeling away.
It's still early in the day.
So that might need to be a tradition when we go back to standard time. Carolyn.
My 3 thumbs up are all things that have inspired me. The first thing is, it's a woman, her name is Molly, and she is the Marigold Needle on Instagram. And she recently posted something. I didn't ask her permission to show the photo here, but so please go to Instagram and go look at this post. She said she was inspired by us about, Anna showed a picture once of these acrylic shelves that we had seen at, remember it was that, do you remember? It was like a needlework school or something. It's since closed in San Francisco, but it was an acrylic shelf that just had really a collage of different pieces on it. We keep talking about, we want to do that. We want to do that. Well, lo and behold, she has done it and it is spectacular. spectacular. So go check it out. And so I'm like, okay, that's it, Carolyn, stop messing around with this. So I'm going to order some acrylic shelves and I'm going to get the same thing going. It looks so good. She mixes her cross stitch with then a few prints, and it just, go check her out. Molly.
It's so pretty.
Molly,
enjoy that.
Thank you for tagging us on that post, because that was, we inspired her, and then I'm like, you're inspiring me like way more. So thank you. The second person that has really inspired me recently is Melinda, and she was at our table at Pinwis, and she is at Mrs. Petunia Head. I've scrolled these along here. What inspired me recently, and we had seen it before, but she is recently finishing, it's like a needle pouch, a little sewing pouch, sewing book. I don't know what exactly you would call it. A fold over like envelope kind of thing.
Envelope, yeah.
And she didn't have any, and she'd stitched it a really pretty, sort of like a dusty, denim-y kind of powdery blue, with like a cream thread. And she couldn't find any good coordinating fabric to be the fabric part. So she stitched her own fabric, and she...
Brilliant.
Mirror image, so her fabric is more the creamy, and then she picked that dusty blue, and she did a really simple geometric pattern that reads like a geometric simple fabric, but it's stitched. So creative, so inspiring, and this idea of like, oh yeah, you could stitch your fabric for the back of something or for your
it's so inspiring. Like, you might feel a little stuck for a while, but just because you can't get a particular thing, there's always a solution.
Yeah. And she's such, in general, just her color sense and her creativity continues to inspire me. But that's like just a particular.
I'm gonna call her an expert.
She's an expert. All right. And then the last thing that's been really inspiring is our school does. We have an upper school, which is essentially high school, and a middle school, which is 6 to 8, and they do musicals every year. And my daughter-in-law is the music director for those, and they are doing their upper school one, which is the Addams Family. And I took my granddaughters to the dress rehearsal on Thursday. In fact, they loved it so much, we're going to the matinee this afternoon. But just seeing everybody, it was so good. First of all, it's just so good. And just watching people do creative things they love is so inspiring. Like, I'm not a singer, I'm not a performer, but I can appreciate that energy that they're giving off by doing that. And it was such a great show. Such a great show. I can't wait to see it again. So, thumbs up.
As a teacher too, out there. I love to see a student presenting in like a different context, different than the classroom.
Yeah.
You learn surprising things sometimes.
And most of these students I had taught in 8th grade, many of them, unless they came in as a new 9th grade. And it's really the student that played Gomez was so good. And I'm like, keep going, like, I didn't have, like, because it was dress rehearsal, I didn't have like the cast list. Most of the kids I could figure out who they were. And I'm like, did I teach Gomez? Is that a new student? And later on, when I found out who Gomez was, I was like, of course, like, as soon as, but the costume was so good. She was phenomenal. They were all phenomenal. Okay, Anna, we're under an hour.
I forgot to say it was episode 80. Did I say it was episode 80?
I think I just said
the date. It's episode 80.
It's episode 80.
And until next time,
happy crafting.
Stay curious.
Bye, everybody.
See ya. Hair check.
Hair check. Done. Good enough.
Shirt check. Scarf check.
It's a snood. Thank you.